Hi everyone! Welcome to our first practice with the ball. I'm excited to share this one with you. It's been really helpful for me and a bunch of people. So this is the second brain reset. This is going to be our kind of main vagus nerve practice. Because the vagus nerve is something that just travels from our brain and it touches our face, it touches every single organ, all the way down to our cervix. Everything is affected. And so when the vagus nerve senses that the body feels safe, fight and flight gets turned off, and that like rest and digest turns on. It's kind of there's a little bit of a dimmer switch there. So like the less fight and flight in this system, the more ability for us to just be like, oh, great, we're here. And then go about our day from that place of rootedness. So that's kind of what we're looking for. So you want to take your ball and get it to about, 80%, 90%, pretty full. This could even be fuller. And we're going to focus on 3 spots on our body. We can take just a few minutes to do this practice. We could take like 20 minutes if you have a lot of time and it feels good. I mostly do this on the bed, but it looks better to do it down here. So I'm going to show you down here. Okay, 3 spots that I want us to focus on. We're going to be doing the sides of the ribs. These floaters, when you press in to these floaters, our ribs are supposed to expand and contract every time we breathe, right? That there is that fullness. Often we get rigidity. Often we get that rigidity, and so our kind of rib cage holds us in like this. So it doesn't matter how much we're breathing. If our rib cage is stuck, it's not going anywhere. So we're going to open this up so that during the day we just accidentally start breathing better. That's going to be magic. And then we're going to focus on the heart and the lungs. If we put the ball, we're going to put the ball like right above the breasts, right at the top of the sternum, or like really on the sternum. That like hard part right there. Right behind there is like the heart, like the important parts of the lungs. By putting pressure here, our heart rate immediately goes down and our breathing immediately slows. And as soon as both of those things are happening, our body's like, oh, we're breathing slowly. We must be safe. Oh, our heart rate is slow. We must be safe. Turn on rest and digest. Turn off fight and flight. And then the last one is going to be this in the belly. And that's going to just release a whole bunch. It's going to add some movement to our organs. It's going to move a whole bunch of lymph in our organs, so that the breathing, the lungs, the rib cages move, and the heart slowing down. All of that gets like stabilized as soon as this is also on board. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lie down with this ball right under my floaters, and I'm going to get it so that it's kind of pushing in. I'm kind of moving around, figuring out where it feels good. You don't want it too high up. You don't want it too low. You're just finding the right spot. And you also, if it's uncomfortable, find a spot that's comfortable. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. So you can kind of like roll forward. You can roll backwards. You can put the ball more at the back or the front. Whatever's comfortable. You just want to kind of lie there on it. You see how like my arm is cradling my head. I just want to take some breaths. Like this is pushing into my ribs. And then I want to take my other hand and just notice that when I breathe in, I'm pushing both. I can feel both the ball and my hand. Just kind of releasing that. And if that feels amazing, you can stay there for a little bit. I'm going to do the other side. Same thing, kind of like finding the right spot. I'm curling my arm around. You can put a pillow here if you want to. Just take a second to just sort of flop on it. And then put your hand and just kind of like, push down. Give yourself that like squeeze. Sometimes our body do that thing where it's almost like the cabinets where you have to push in to have it come out. That you can do it like that. And then the next one you're going to do is your heart. And so you're putting this on your heart, laying down. Ugh. And you kind of just like find a space for this to be comfortable. Don't worry about your head not being, straight on or everything. The whole point of this is you want your body to melt around the ball. Ah, so good. And then, for this part, you're going to take the ball and you're going to put it in your belly. Now, often, it's really intense. If you put this directly on your belly, it's pushing your organs, and so your body's going to be like, get the hell out of there. And so what we want to do is actually take this down to about like half. See how that's way squishier? You can also do this on your sides and your heart if it's too big. But that is really helpful. Okay, so now let's do the belly. And there's some tricks with this. So, kind of right below the sternum, like the sternum to the belly button is kind of where you want this. If you're on your period or something, you can also like go lower. That can feel great if that happens to you. But like you can move all the way around in your guts on this one. Ugh. And something that's really helpful when you first do this, it might feel like, oh my God, this is so intense. Get out of here. This is terrible. I would never do this. Just bear with me. Take more air out of the ball if you need to. And then another piece of this is that take a second and actually squeeze. Squeeze your stomach muscles. Push the ball away. And then release into it. There's something about that squeezing that is really helpful. And I think partly it's because it sort of makes our body, oh yeah, that's so good. Makes our body feel like it's in charge. Like nothing is being done to it, that we're like, okay, I'm putting the ball in here, but it's, I can push it away if I need to. I'm not just like being punched. And then take a second, just at the end, take a second and just lie like this. You don't have to be here long. But just feel the opening. Feel the opening. Because like even if your mind is racing, even if your mind is still going on the million kinds of things that you're in the middle of doing, your body knows. Your body knows that something is now different. Your brain will be able to find your ribs in space. Your heart will feel a little slower. Like you can't help it. So I'm all about the laziest healing possible. So let me know how this goes. We'll be returning to this over and over. Let me know if you have any questions, if you need help troubleshooting. But this one, once you get it, is a go-to. Over and over and over. You can do this like daily, do it before bed. But this like over and over will soothe your vagus nerve in a way that just brings very easy healing into your body.